Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. I would greet you in all the languages of Ethiopia, but I'm told that there are more than 80. So that would keep us here all night. So let me just say, Endemim Walachu. Prime Minister Haile Mariam, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to be here tonight as the first sitting United States President to visit Ethiopia, and I want to thank the great people of Ethiopia, including Teddy Mack. He's the one who sang that catchy song, Upon My Welcome. I want to thank all of you for the wonderful reception we've received. You know, Ethiopians are an ancient people in an ancient land. We honor Ethiopia as the birthplace of humankind. In fact, I just met Lucy, our oldest ancestor. As your great poet laureate wrote, "Here is the land where the first harmony in the rainbow was born. Here is the root of the genesis of life. The human family was first planted here." When you see our ancestor, 3.5 million years old, we are reminded that Ethiopians, Americans, all the people of the world are part of the same human family, the same chain. And as one of the professors who was describing the artifacts correctly pointed out, so much of the hardship and conflict and sadness and violence that occurs around the world is because we forget that fact. We look at superficial differences as opposed to seeing the fundamental connection that we all share. And for more than a century, our two nations have enjoyed a harmony that enriched us both. We've worked together to lift up the fortunes of those most in need. Tonight we also remember former Prime Minister Meles and his dedication to reducing poverty. Together we've sheltered and cared for refugees fleeing conflict. We've sought to secure our shared future against those who would threaten us. Of course, of the many contributions Ethiopia has made to the world over the centuries, I'm certain that Americans want to thank you for one in particular, discovering something that sustains people around the world day and night, and many people in the White House, and that is coffee. Thank you, Ethiopia. We are large consumers of coffee in the White House. And Ethiopia has ignited the imagination of Americans for generations. Before African Americans won their civil rights, many of them were inspired by this country, a nation that never suffered the indignities of colonialism, people who defended their freedom and their right of self-determination. You already mentioned, Mr. Prime Minister, Colonel John Robinson, an American who was one of the fathers of the Tuskegee Airmen. He was nicknamed the Brown Condor, who then came to Ethiopia and trained Ethiopian pilots to tame their heavens, and as you indicated, helped to set up the Ethiopian Air Force. You sparked the passion of American poets like Paul Laurence Dunbar and Langston Hughes, who saw in Ethiopia a dignity to be celebrated and emulated. Ethiopia kindled a commitment to service for generations of young Americans who volunteered for the Peace Corps and who have for decades worked alongside the people of this proud land. For my part, I was impressed by the courage of the Ethiopian journalist that I welcomed to the White House earlier this year, moved by her determination to champion a robust free press. And I very much appreciated the comments you made at the press conference today about the evolution that's taking place to deepen democracy here. So the deep connections between our peoples is built on the values that we share. We saw that so clearly 2 years ago when the Boston Marathon suffered that horrendous terrorist bombing. And in a gesture of great solidarity and compassion, the runner who won the race, an Ethiopian, returned his medal to honor the victims of the attack. And at this year's marathon, Americans cheered all the harder when he once again crossed the finish line first with an even faster time. And that, I think, is a hallmark of the American and Ethiopian bond. We don't give in or give up when things get hard, but we come back better and we come back stronger. So there's no doubt that Ethiopians and Americans are sprung from the same root of life. We have evidence of that. Tonight I'd like to offer a toast to another century of friendship, to our one human family, and to a bright future for the land where the first harmony of the rainbow was born. Letanakin. For you Americans, that means to our health, or cheers. Thank you very much.